Hello, lovebirds. TonyaTko here. And I don't normally record videos back to back one day after another, but I felt that it was necessary and pertinent for me to come out and make this video today. I uploaded a video yesterday which is causing quite the stir. And it's causing a stir that I didn't imagine that it would cause. But I'm glad that it did, because this is a great opportunity for us to come out and talk with one another about what is emerging from the video that I uploaded yesterday. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, the video is entitled I'm falling from my soul friend, or catching feelings from my soul friend, or whatnot, and in which I went out to the park and I went for a long walk, and I took you guys along the walk with me. And I mean, you guys know I haven't done a walking vlog in New York City in years, since the last one that I did in Central Park. But I felt moved to make a walking vlog when I did, and so I brought you guys along for the ride, ride so to speak. And so I went out to the park and I was discussing, you know, some of the mental, how do I put it? The mental dissecting, the mental debriefing, the mental turning over, the mental tossings that I was going through that day. And it was really an external, internal dialogue in which I was trying to come to grips with the fact that, you know, me and my soul friend have this really, and you know what, and I can call this person my soulmate after doing more research on what a soulmate actually is. You know, a soulmate can come into your life in the form of a sibling, a partner, a lover, a friend, a parent, someone you're related to. And the part that I wanted to concentrate on that is the part about a friend. And then also somebody mentioned the word twin flame. Actually, I think two different people mentioned it. I wish I could remember their names to give them props, because after they mentioned this to me, I had the ability to go searching or researching what a twin flame is. Now, you know, you know what, I'm gonna pull my board out in a little bit, but I wanna talk a little bit more about what it was that happened in the park and what ensued. So, all right. So I was in the park walking around, and I was just dissecting this issue over and over and over in my mind, trying to come to grips with what it is that's going on inside. Did you hear that? That did not come from in here. It's like something outside of the building just cracked. Maybe they're saying something. That's so funny. So anyway, so I don't even remember what I was saying that really startled me. So nonetheless, so I was somersaulting, these ideas were somersaulting around in my mind, and I was really trying to come to grips with the fact that me and my soulmate friend are so close and so in tune and just so connected and just spiritually in tune. What is this sound? Hold on for a moment. I don't know what is going on, but something's happening. Look at this. Wow. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, look, I don't know what is going on. It's a rainy day in New York. The clouds are gray and strange things are happening. I'll show you guys outside real quick so you can see. This is outside in New York right now. It's raining. That's my horrible view. So listen, it's a rainy gray day, and I just heard some crashing sound outside the window, or on the side of the building. Then like this sound comes from a sound I've never heard before. Like I have a doorbell, and the doorbell has a chime, but the doorbell's ringing up in a way I've never seen it. The electricity is on, so I don't know what's going on, but when I went to the hallway, you know, I'm at work. When I went to the hallway, all of the lights are off. the front door is like, there's no gate down, but all of the lights in the building are off. So I switch on the light to see if there's electricity in the hallway. And there was electricity in the hallway. And so, I started kind of feeling like somebody in a horror movie where they're like, hello? Hello, who's out there? So I was like, this is just not worth it. Let me come back inside and lock my door. So I came back inside, I locked the door, and I'm like, let me just finish the video. If you guys see anything coming up behind me, scream, please scream. Okay, all right, let's get back into the video. Goodness. That was bizarre, wasn't it? All right. But very fitting when we start talking about, spirit, souls, the spiritual, etc. Weird things start happening. So nonetheless, so I was walking through the park and I was talking about this connection that I have with this person and how, a part of me is starting to feel romantically towards this person. It's it's a really interesting dynamic. You come into contact with a person in which you become so close and so comfortable, whom you guys share so much, and you become so tight as two individuals and as two beings that you admire this person, and you look up to this person, and you respect this person, and you believe in this person, and you care for and love this person. So I think that for me, trying to make sense of this union, trying to figure out how is it that we can be so close and not be this close. You know what I mean, right? Forgive the crudeness, but not be that close. And so, I was really like just in a moment of unclarity, just mentally dissecting the situation and having you guys come along for the ride. So, and one thing that I do want to mention, at one point in the video, I said I felt like a puppet, but I don't think people heard the next sentence. I said I felt like a puppet to my soul's calling. Listen, because there is a connection and a drawing, like being drawn, an attraction to this person's soul from my soul that is outside of my physical control. I don't have the power to deny this connection. I can't mentally wrap my mind around it or even conceive it. And you know what? The thing about it is that he and we spoke about this. And he said that there's definitely, this is the words he used. He said soul recognition. He said there's definitely a soul recognition between us. And it was there from the very first day. And in this relationship, I have had the ability to stretch my boundaries of what I thought and knew before. I've had the ability to grow myself as a person, as a human being, and as a spiritual being. I have grown. And if you guys have ever watched my videos, you know that there is a more peaceful, serene, loving quality about me now. There has been, just like this flower. You see how this flower is so full and in bloom. There's been like this, where once I was like a flower, and the more I ride this rainbow of love, the more the petals push outwards, and the more I grow as a being, and the more I open myself up to the love from the divine, from that divine love, from the love from the source of all loves. Listen to me. This friendship has changed me. I have become in tune with a connection to myself and other people. And as I grow along, you guys will see how this relationship is creating different changes in me, because, as I said before, honeys, there are no mistakes. None whatsoever. And everything happens for a reason, and everything happens as it should. And one thing that really surprised me is that people came out. I'm sorry, I feel a little bit of glossiness. One thing that really surprised me is that people came out and they seemed to relish. And now I don't understand this fixation or this desire. You know, they seem to relish in the fact that now they felt that they were on the other sides of the table and that now it was time for them to school TonyaTko. Holla if you hear me. Listen to this. Listen. Listen, hear me. So now they felt that, okay, so now the tables are turned, and so now I'm master and she's teacher, so now let me school her. Now, number one, let me tell you guys this, and I'm going to say this very plainly so that you can hear and understand me. I am no master. I'm a human being just like you. I am no better than you. I am no higher than you, and I am no different to you. As a matter of fact, let me just make this very clear for the record. I have stated several times for people not to write me in their problems because the answer lies within you. We all have the answers within our own selves. And so what ended up happening is people started coming out now with this desire and this salivation to now, tell me what it is and how it be. Listen to this. One person went so far as to say, listen to this, this was my favorite. She went so far as to say that I don't have self-respect, I don't value myself, and I don't have pride. This is what she went to say. Because her, on the other hand, she went into talking about what it is that she would do. Oh, when somebody, this was so, just so telling about herself and the things that she holds true. She went on to say, if somebody doesn't express romantic interest in me, I cut it off because I value myself too much and I have too much pride and I got too much this, that, and the other to ever this, that, blah, blah, blah. So she would leave and what she would do. Okay, let me stand up for a moment. Let's talk about what you would do, honey. Let's talk about that. You want to take a peer into my life and tell me what it is that you would and would not do. Listen to this, baby. Because if I were to hold your life up to a microscope, I could look at a plethora of actions which I would not do. But what does that matter? Really, what does it matter? In this life, we all have our own journey. And the things that I need to learn and the things that I would do are going to be different than the things that you need to learn and the things that you need to do. Do you understand? And I hope everybody can understand what I'm saying. And this is the reason why we should never. Let me turn to the side. This is the reason why we should never look out into somebody else's life and say, well, I wouldn't do X, Y, or Z. You want to know why you should never say that? Because in your very life are instances which that person, as messed up as they may be, which they wouldn't do. So I implore everybody to take the time to get to know you, to figure out you. Take the time to analyze yourself. Do you understand the statement, knowledge of self? Honey, listen to this. It can take an entire lifetime to figure out you, who you are, and what your purpose is. It can take an entire lifetime to reach the mental ascension that will connect you to the ultimate divine. It can take a lifetime for you to unwrangle through all of the trials and tribulations of this human experience, because we all come into this life not remembering. It's not that we don't know, because we all know. We all come into this life not remembering who or what we are. So rather than taking your time to try to figure out other people, invest that time in figuring out yourself. And this is what I implore you. I implore you to do what I did. Get out into nature and go think about your issues. Go unravel your issues. Think about what it is, the situation that you're going through. Let me calm down, because I feel like I'm speaking angrily, and I don't even know why I'm speaking angrily, because I'm not angry. So let me take it down a notch, okay? All right. So let's start. Let's start talking about this point. Okay. I implore all of you to go out into nature. Get out into the the canvas of the Creator. Go out into nature, connect with nature, and spend some time really mulling over your issues. That's what I did. I went out into nature and I took you guys along with me. And it seems like, you know, people wanted to shame me for being human, shame me for not having all the answers at any given time. You know, there are things that confuse me, and this is not a base level issue. This is an issue that once I fully understand this, this is going to ascend me to another level of consciousness. My concern was, what is the, as a human being, what is the, this obsession or this preoccupation with trying to fit people into a category? Or what is the preoccupation with, or the obsession or the connection with having a true connection and bond with another person without it being sexual? Let's talk about that young lady again, for my favorite comment. If you cut people out of your life just because they won't be romantic with you, you know, or because you can't get what you want from them, or because you have your pride and your ego in the way, you know, you really limit yourself to the abundance of knowledge and experiences that are out there for you. I've already expressed that my life is the better for having known this person, and if I were to be a fool enough to be like, you won't fall in love with me, I'm gonna cut you off, I'm only hurting myself. I'm hurting myself, and I'm hurting my spirit, and I'm hurting my soul, and I'm not really fully learning or coming into contact with all the lessons that I need to as a human being. And you know what, the thing about it is, let's talk about this, right? And this is what is so special about the situation. You know, a lot of people were coming out saying, telling me that don't ever tell a man that you're interested in him. Don't ever tell a man that you care about him. Don't ever this, because then he'll take you for granted. Then he'll use you. Then he'll this. One person told me that that she needs to introduce me to a woman by the name of TonyaTko, that I need to watch some of my old videos. All right, let's talk about that. You know, and let's talk about this dysfunctional God. You know what? I don't know where in any of my old videos that I ever told you that you could not be honest and you could not connect with another human being. I don't know who it is that you guys were watching or who that person was watching. You'd never hear me say that. As a matter of fact, it's dysfunctional. It's like, can't we hear how dysfunctional and how unhealthy and how fearful and how negative and how anti-love these things are? It's like, if you care for a person whom you cannot tell that you care about them, because then that person will abuse you, that's not a situation you need to be in. You need to find a person who cares enough about himself and loves himself enough that if you express kind and congenial feelings towards him, that person knows and understands that you're talking about, that you're giving accolades to a person who has recognized their own wealth. You know, if you pour accolades and love onto a person who doesn't love themselves, of course they're going to reject that. They're going to reject it. They're going to abuse you. And this brings, you know what, if this, gosh, this brings to begs to mind, this brings to question. You know, I talked to you ladies, I already told you that ladies, we are the ones who choose. What type of man do you think it is or was that I would choose? Do you think that, and like people are calling him a dude, this is, believe me, this is no dude. And it's like, you know, I think that we have to broaden our minds and we really have to open up our psyches to realizing that there are different people on different levels or vibrations of consciousness. There are. And ladies, we are the ones who choose. So if you're going to choose somebody kind. Choose somebody loving. Choose somebody gentle. Choose somebody open. Choose somebody who loves themselves. Choose somebody who radiates love and who has enough love to give you, who's not going to feel, you know, shorted by you loving them. Come on. Who do you think I would choose? What type of person is it that you would think that me, knowing what it is that I know of myself and who I am, what type of person do you think I would even, I mean, I would pour, you know, the love of the universe onto? And then I've already expressed that this is a soul connection. What type of person do you think a soul like mine would connect to? You think I would connect to some bad boy out there? Some Thug Nation dude? Oh, come on. Listen to me. Come on. You know, I chose somebody very loving, somebody very giving, somebody very deeply spiritual, deeply spiritual. And he and I have the ability, and the crazy part about it is we talked. We had a very in-depth conversation about what it was that I was feeling and you know, and what it was that was going on inside of me, and just, you know, really communicating and vibing back and forth with this person honestly, openly, transparently. And we spent a great deal of time communicating. And when we did, and even he said it, you know, when we finished, we were even closer for having gone through that. You know, and I realized that all love, oh goodness, love is love is love. All love comes from one source, one. And all loves lead back into that one universal source of love. And where there is love, there cannot be fear. And ladies, if you are going to choose a man that you can talk to. Choose a man who there is nothing which you guys cannot discuss. If you tell a man that you care about him and he leaves you, good, that was not the man for you. If you are in a situation in which you cannot be your full, total, and authentic self, if you feel that you have to play a game, cat and mouse or whatever type of game, if you feel that you have to play a game and not be true and authentic to you, that's not a situation for you. You know, I had this desire to get out into nature, and I had this desire to mull these thoughts over, and I implore you for you to do it too. For you to get out there onto the Creator's canvas, connect with nature and mull some thoughts over in your mind. Instead of trying to shame me for going through a mental process, I implore you for you to do that too. Get out there. Go. Learn something about yourself. You know, I told you guys that I think very deeply. I spend time really, and the part of the reason that I am as self-aware as I am is because of that process. You know, and when I went through that process, I was confused, and I think that my confusion infected a lot of people with confusion too. But when I woke up in the morning, I had a moment. I wouldn't call it an epiphany, but I had a moment of extreme clarity in which my soul's consciousness spoke directly to me. And I understand, you know, when people talk about, you know, like in biblical texts, etc., when they say an angel came to them, I understand, you know, where that theology or that experience comes from, because I think that there are times that we can really connect to our inner selves, to our pure selves, and get messages from the beyond that are what exactly it is that we need. And the message, you know, when I had that moment of clarity, all of that confusion dissipated. It dissipated. And right now, I mean, you see, I'm very different now than I was in that video where I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And that's a part of the human condition. And we need to trust ourselves. Some people, one person on the video said that she doesn't believe in that we have that we have spirits or the universe. She doesn't believe in that. She says that she thinks that that's something people just use. They use as an excuse to just do whatever the heck they want to do. And I feel sorry for that person. If you don't believe that there is an inner vibration inside of you, if you don't believe that you can reach a certain realm through meditation, if you don't believe that you can connect to a very clear you and gain clarity, I feel sorry for you, because you can. You're not enacting your God-given tools. Tap into that. Tap into it. And so I had this moment of clarity that really, it's soul awoke in me. It soul awoke in me. And I realized that, and this is when I realized that all love comes from the divine. All love. And that I don't have to try to classify or categorize this situation, because love is the only truth. It is. And as long as you're being true to love, then you are living in the light of the Most High. Be true. You know what? A lot of people spend a lot of time worrying about a lot of things that don't matter. What will this person think of me? I got to do this, or this person will do that. Oh, and all of that really doesn't matter, because at the end of your life, the only thing that matters is, were you happy? Did you love freely? Did you live life to the fullest of what you felt your ability? Did you? And if you did not do those, if you lived in fear, if you lived in this world thinking that you have to be or do something, I don't have to be or do anything at all except be happy, be true, help other people. That's all I have to do. That's why I'm here, to help people. And this is why I make these videos for free, and why I am spending the time to invest in getting my show, you know, produced into a pilot, so I could shop it around, so that I could have, you know, the ability to come into contact with more people and spread this idea of love. Loving yourself, loving one another. We are all connected. You're connected to me, and I'm connected to you. You know, but what we have to do is, each person has to spend that time dissecting ourselves from the inside. You know, so I'm going to wrap up this video, because I feel like I've gotten to the point where I have expressed. I was going to get the board out, and I was going to talk about, you know, the givens. You know, let me get the board out. Why not? I'm not ending the video. Let me get the board out. Come on, let's go. Okay. Crooked board. Yeah, that's all right. It'll get the job done. It'll get the job done. All right. So the reason why I'm bringing out the board is because I want. Oh, here goes the door again. Well, this is the door for real this time, but I'm gonna be right back. Okay, and I'm back. I took the liberty of writing givens on the board, because what I'd like to talk about is some of the things that we know about the situation, the givens that we have. Okay, number one, we know that both people feel a soul recognition and an instant how do you spell recognition? Recognition. There's a soul recognition that both people feel. Both people came into contact with one another and felt like there was a something that from the divine that attracted those two people together. Okay. Number two, we know that there is admiration, respect, and closeness. We know that the two people in the situation, I'm talking about me and my soul friend, that we know that there's admiration, respect, and closeness, right? And we know that there is love. There is love between both people, right? And both people are heterosexual and of opposite genders. Heterosexual, okay? So here we go from knowing these three things. Both people are heterosexual. So then me, thinking about their soul recognition, the admiration, the respect, and the closeness, and the love that exists between us, and the fact that we're heterosexual, I started mulling over, is this romantic? If it's not romantic, then is platonic enough? Can you be platonic with a person with all of these things above? Can we be platonic with all of that present above and not go into the next level and not say, okay, well, you are my partner and I am your partner. We're going to grow romantically, etc. So these are the things that we know off the bat. We're getting a little, okay, so I'm not going to erase that. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the board. And then lastly, we know, well, number one, we know that this person is deeply spiritual. This person is more spiritual than me. This person is like the water that we all hope to be. The same one spoken about by Bruce Lee. You know, this person has a transparency and a clarity and a divinity that is unlike any I've ever come into contact with. This person has a vibration and a frequency that is on a level greater than mine. I am still on the earth with everybody else. This person is on another level. I'm telling you, he is. And so this person is highly spiritual and really in tune, right? Okay, so given all of that, the last thing that we know is that Tonya is wondering, can this be romantic? Should it only be platonic? And so I discussed this with him earlier on, right? And this is what he said. He said there's definitely a soul recognition. There's definitely love. There's the respect, the admiration, and the closeness, right? He said that he did not know if this was romantic. He didn't know if I was the person that was destined for him. So he said, I don't know. I don't know. And I said this in the video. What he did say was, let's see. You know, let's continue on with what it is that we have now, and let it develop as it will. In life, the universe is going to tell you where you need to be. As human beings, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to try anything, you don't have to force anything. The universe is going to direct you in the direction that you need to go. And he talked about alignment. If it is so aligned and so ordained, then he and I will be together, but he doesn't know. I don't know. And there was really no reason to create a situation in which, you know, I was trying to force ourselves to know. Right now it's platonic. What would it ever be in the future? Who knows? And so I'm going to put the board back away, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Excuse me, let me open back up these lines. Okay. So lastly, and after I make this point, we're going to come off of the video. But you know, lastly, I think that this is, you know, one of the lessons that was there out for me to know, or for me to gain, that there has to be a surrendering to the divine. There has to be a surrendering of the ego. There has to be a surrendering and an opening of yourself to that which is meant to be, whether that which is meant to be is X, Y, or Z. You have to surrender and you have to open yourself for it to go in either direction, and for it really to take your ego out of it, take your pride out of it, and really just delve into the divine. I don't know how else to put it. Delve into that and let let the universe unfold as it may, without you saying, this is what I want, this is what I want to make this to be, this is what blah blah blah. Let it unfold as it will unfold, because anything, listen, what did, even in the Bible they say, what God sets, no man tear asunder. What is meant to be shall be, and there is nothing that can set that off course. So we really have to, we have to separate ourselves from this human condition and this human thinking, this human rationale, and really attempt to ascend ourselves higher mentally. And I'm like, this person, this spiritual being, this person who loves me and whom I love, would I abandon all of that because he won't put his penis in me? I mean, it's like, is the only worth of another human being what it is that they can do to gratify you or give you sexually or romantically? You cut people off out of your life. This is another thing we need to talk to men about with this whole quote unquote friend zone thing, is if this person has no other worth outside of what they can give you out beyond platonically. Like, you can't learn and grow from this human being. And then let's talk about sex real quick before we get off the video. Oh my God. Because you know what? I think that a lot of our ideas about sex have been that we've been manipulated by religious doctrine into believing that sex is something bad or dirty. Okay, so much so that people are of the impression that if you have sex with somebody, they have taken something from you. If you're a woman, so to speak. And if you're a man, if someone has sex with you, you have gained something from somebody. And that's dysfunctional and it's unhealthy. Sex is the coming together of two souls in union. It is. And it's like, until we start thinking about what sex really is, you know what? Let me tell you something real quick. let me adjust myself. Listen, if you didn't know before, let me tell you something right now. You know what? Some of you not gonna be ready for this. You ain't ready. You ain't ready for me to say this. You ain't ready. 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 Are you ready? Are you ready to hear this? Honestly. Okay, listen. Sex can take you to new heights. Listen. Oh, you can connect. Listen to that. You want to talk about source love? You can connect to the love of source when you join your body with another human being. You know, as long as we have these ideas that sex is dirty and sex is full of impurity and sex is salacious and all this other stuff, we're missing out. So many of us are missing out on a magnificent experience where you can really truly join two souls together, where you can put your body next to another person's body and concentrate on vibrating light and having light emanate from both of you, and that you use your body as the portal into which this person can enter so that you both can reach the divine together. Oh, I'm on a whole nother level. Then, well, I'm thinking on a whole nother level. I'm not going to say I'm on another level. I'm just thinking on a whole nother level. And those of you out there who are spiritual, you understand. And some of you have been able to reach those heights. I haven't been able to do much research on it, but I need to start researching it right now, because I would, gracious, you know what? I can see how sex with the wrong person can be the depleting of your energy. But honey, this is why I'm saying we have to choose wisely, because sex can be a grand experience unlike any other, where you reach a momentary death, where there is nothing there but you and ecstasy, where you are in the abundant ray and just surrounding jubilation of the supreme. You know what? If as long as you still thinking on that lower level vibration, I ain't gonna give my this, ain't gonna nobody, I'm gonna get this, and no. As long as you're thinking on that, you're missing out on so much more. Tap into that energy. Learn some stuff about chakras, because you know what? Listen, it's not up. Listen, please. You know what? Sex is an experience that enriches and nourishes both people. Honey, listen, let me get out of here now. I have to listen. I gotta do more research on that myself, but I know that there can be an ascension. I know that sex can be a transcendental experience where you transcend all realms by connecting with this other person. But this person has to have knowledge of self. This person has to be tapped into their consciousness. You have to be tapped into your consciousness, because as long as sex is just genitalia slamming and ramming together, then it's nothing and it's meaningless. But if you come into that intercourse with vibration, honey, and if you come into that union, joining colors, joining light, and joining spirits as one, honey, oh, I don't want to talk no more. Whoo-wee. And I can only hope and pray that there are other people out there who will be able to experience this level of ascension, this complete release of everything in the physical, having some spiritual sex. I really hope that people can listen. Oh God, you know what, like I said, so many of the things we think matter just really don't matter at all. Let me hug you. I'm out of here on that note. Hug me. I love you guys. Love. Now go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. That's where it all starts. Trust yourself. And spend your time focusing that inward. Find the answers inside you. You do. Spend the time concentrating on you. If I could end this video saying anything, and try to get to another level mentally, where it's not about who's using who and who's using me, and I'm gonna gain this and I'm gonna get to another level. Get off this lower level vibration. Go up higher. I'm gonna lift you higher. And I'm out of here on that note. TonyaTko, and I love you guys. You know something? We're about to get into this series, and and it's all right. I'm gonna put my dirty laundry out there, because I know that in these videos where I expose myself, I let you guys know that it's all right to expose yourself. And you know what? All the naysayers who are coming around talking about what's wrong with me, you know what, honey? You're going to miss out. And I can see why people don't want to open up in regular life with some people. They don't want to open up and they don't want to expose themselves, because the moment that they expose themselves, there's the person pointing the fingers, talking about what's wrong with. Listen, I have issues. We all have issues. That's why I'm saying spend that time concentrating it on the inside. And so we're about to get into this series, this self-love series, where we're going to work through some issues. I'm going to tell you guys what my issues are, and we're going to work through it together and live, because I have no shame Because I know that the people who try to make me feel shame are the ones who feel the shame inside of themselves. I have no shame because this is me. This will not be my best me. I'm going higher from here. So those people who say, listen to the old TonyaTko, I say, stay in the past if you want to. But if you want to grow, come follow me, because what was in the past is yesterday, and all we have is today, this moment in time. So take the time to do what you need to do in this moment in time to move towards that better future. I'm not going to stay stuck on the old TonyaTko who made videos about the top 10 ways to manipulate a man. I'm not going to be on that old TonyaTko. This is a new TonyaTko. Come for the ride or stay behind. One more hug on that note. Love you guys, love you guys, love you guys, love you guys, love you guys. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Peace. Oh, follow me on Facebook, Twitter. All of the links are below this video. You can find me on any network if you just type in TonyaTko, and that's Tonya with an O. That's Tonya. I'm on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I have my own website, TonyaTko.com. Peace.